Hello, everybody. We are live, not from New York, but from other places in the world. We'll just wait a few seconds for people to get online. In the meantime, tell us where you're from. If you've signed it, if you're joining us, where are you joining us from? JP, where are you based?
I'm based in Switzerland, Zurich.
Zurich, all right. And I'm near Oxford in England. Right, well, let's crack on. So, hi, everybody. This is a live stream I'm really excited about. My name is Andy Cotgreave. We're going to be looking today at the ins and outs of Veezoo and Agentic analytics, engineered for reliability. That's what it says on their website. Today, we're going to be mixing Veezoo with football data, and that's the round balls we kick with our feet, hence the name football. Stick around because there's some really exciting insights we're going to see. My name is Andy. I'm excited to be continuing this brand partnership with Veezoo. I've obviously been in the field of data analytics for the best part of 20 years. Formerly of Tableau, but recently co-founded How to Speak Data, with the aim of helping people around the world see and understand data. I'm co-author of 2 books, Big Book of Dashboards, which came out 10 years ago, and Dashboards That Deliver, which came out just last September. I also co-host the live series Chart Chat with my Dashboard book co-authors. Got a great episode coming up next week, but just look at my LinkedIn for details of that. Because today, we're going to be doing this. We're looking at Veezoo. If you followed my channel over the last few months, I've been doing a brand partnership with them. And basically, the goal I've had since leaving Tableau is like, well, I love Tableau, but what other tools are out there that I and people who follow me or subscribe to me might enjoy? So over the time, I've done some videos on looking at semantic layers, how Veezoo makes charts. I even used Billboard Hot 100 data, historical data, to try and make a #1 single that would be a hit in 2026. The analytics was good. The song it made was absolutely atrocious, but we're not going to blame Veezoo for that. You can blame me. But underneath each of the videos I've done, I've seen comments like this, particularly this one from Kirk Munroe. It says, well, Andy, have you had a chance to try Veezoo on something more complex? It's all very well uploading a single tabular CSV file and doing something whizzy, but real-world data analytics is far more complicated. And that's true. I'm busted. It's certainly the case that if I just upload one CSV, we can do that. But who's real-world data analytics running a bit organization resolves around a single table of data? If that is your business, then congratulations, you are an anomaly. So this is what we're going to look at today. We're going to look at a complex data set. It really is complicated and wide, and I think very real-worldy. But on top of that, we're going to look at how Veezoo can schedule things. One thing that's really important to me as an analyst is not to have to repeat the same conversation with an AI every time I want the same answer. And we'll also look a little bit at how Veezoo just accelerates the job of a data analyst. I mean, you're going to see that permeated through everything we are looking at anyway today. So now the last thing, of course, I hope you 2 things to remain. Penultimate thing is I hope you have questions. This is live, whether we're on LinkedIn or in YouTube. That's absolutely fine. Just type in your questions. We can address those. And, the more you ask, the more interactive this will be. The final point to make is I've got a dodgy laptop. It is prone to randomly blue screening at who knows any time of any day. It hasn't yet happened during a live stream. I hope this isn't the first one. It takes me about 2 minutes to reboot, but the live stream will continue and my co-host will brilliantly and carry on regardless, even if I disappear. So talking of introductions, let's see who I am with. I'm with JP. JP, hello. Tell everybody
Hello.
Who you are.
Hi there. Pleasure to be here today, Andy. Thanks for this intro.
Yeah, absolutely. And you, so what's your role at Veezoo, JP?
So I'm one of the co-founders of Veezoo. At Veezoo, I'm the CTO responsible for development of the product. So I'm originally from Brazil and I moved to Switzerland. We're based in Switzerland. Moved to Switzerland around 12 years ago. Yeah.
All right. Well, as a Brazilian and an English person on a live stream about a World Cup, we both have a lot of skin in the game on World Cup data, I think. So let's dive into Veezoo. So the purpose, the goal here is prove to me that Veezoo can use complex data sets. So first, just introduce what is this data set we're going to look at today and show me how complicated it is.
Perfect. Well, first of all, I wanted to say that I really like the comment from Kirk about the these simple data sets that you always see in these demos. So I wanted here really to show something that is real and it has a lot of complexity, and Veezoo really likes when it's normalized and you have a lot of different tables to look at. And we've chosen this amazing data set from Joshua Fields tool. You can find it on GitHub, and it has really granular data about the World Cups, right? So we have here teams, matches, player appearances, substitutions, referees, cards, everything, and you can zoom in and see all the kinds of data sets, the tables, individual tables that we have and that we've connected in this knowledge graph.
And just for those not familiar, this is the Veezoo knowledge graph interface, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right.
So
okay.
It's our semantic layer. So yeah.
It's right. So and each one of these is a separate table from the underlying GitHub resource, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. So Kirk, if you are watching, hopefully this is complex enough for you. If this isn't complex enough for you, then, well, it's beyond the scope of me and my channel to prove things different. So JP, well, World Cup data. I'll hand it over to you. What can we ask that is beyond how many goals have been scored in the World Cup? What can we ask that's interesting?
Well, we can start something. For instance, let's start with the notion of hat tricks, right? So let's see what Veezoo will do if you ask. So how many hat tricks were scored in the history of the World Cups, right? So you see that while I'm typing, you can see some information from the knowledge graph. You don't need to select any of these suggestions, right? Hat tricks, just for those who don't know, is when the same player scores at least 3 goals in the same match, right? So it's going to look at these player match combinations where the player scored 3 or more goals, and let's see.
And just to be clear, that doesn't exist in the data set, right?
Yeah, exactly. So the idea here is, well, we're using LLMs. LLMs have a lot of world knowledge, so they know these things even if they're not defined yet. And it will show that there is no hat tricks there, but it's counting the pairs of players and matches where the number of goals has been above 3. And since we have men's tournaments and women's tournaments, we have 54 in one, 25 in the other one, and so it answers you to 79 hat tricks, right? So
and we can, anybody watching, if they want to Google to see if this is correct, let us know, because I think I vaguely remember the answer in researching this.
Yeah, we can take
27 in the women's and 54 in the men's.
Yeah, so the thing is about the women, we have only up until 2019. So there's been another World Cup.
Right.
And so we can check for all hat tricks from the last World Cup. So just so we have a bit of a an understanding of that, what happened in the last World Cup.
And just while you're doing that, I think you did it there. You can hover over the 54 and 25 in the conversation, right, to get some, and all the tokens on that chart give us an indication of how that has been worked out. So
exactly,
yeah.
So here from the last World Cup, not sure if you remember, but in the final it was Argentina versus France. Mbappe scored 3 goals, and they actually they lost the game in the end. It was an amazing. It was an amazing game. And so now, inside a company, you want to turn these definitions into trusted definitions. So you want to extend the knowledge graph or semantic layer with that.
Yeah.
So we can also ask Veezoo to help us do that. So let's define a number of hat tricks in our knowledge graph. Can you help me? with that.
And,
So-
okay, so this is something I did a video on extending the semantic layer, and it's just previous to the previous platforms I worked with. It's just so straightforward because Veezoo is a great assistant, but also in Veezoo Studio you can go and just see almost the entire semantic layer just in a single big text file. So anybody who's familiar with SQL or code, it's just a really easy to use interface. I feel. So yeah.
So what Veezoo is doing, we're calling it agentic modeling, right? And it's the idea of helping you model your semantic layer very fast. It's looking at the files that we have. All the semantic layer is represented as version-controlled files. And it came up here with a suggestion using our query language on how to define it. We're here in a branch mode, so everything that we're doing is not affecting any live users. And I've given it the possibility to just go ahead and change whatever it wants in this safe environment. So it defined here the number of hat tricks as we were using before. It's taking a look at the players and matches, it's counting them. So
I like, just before you scroll, but just before you go on to that, I like how it's it automatically provides synonyms and descriptions. Mm-hmm. And you can edit those. Obviously, you can edit those yourself, but semantic layers are so boring, and yet they're so important, right? And so at least getting that head start in an easy to edit, in a way I can edit very easily, I like that.
Yeah, and then we can just ask, please validate your new measure, right? So just run some queries and see if it's getting us the numbers that we expected.
So yeah, right. So we think the right number. We've definitely got the right number of hat tricks in the Men's World Cup.
Yeah.
I don't know, JP. You and I know, and I'm breaking the fourth wall here for everybody. But we did rehearse this, right? And when we rehearsed this, it didn't get it right first time.
Yeah.
And so we thought, well, we've got this whole proof point of this path of like, well, we can get Veezoo to self-diagnose its problems. And of course, this time it's got it right first time. So we could just do other analytics. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly. Depending on exactly which table you take, you have a different granularity, and you have the history goes up until a certain point. Mm-hmm. So it depends which path it takes here, right? But we got the right numbers as expected.
And now we're getting this nice mix of chart and text as a summary. So it's what's it told us in that validation: successful, total hat tricks, right? Yep. So now we can do some analysis on that. Do you want to know who scored it, or hat tricks per World Cup? Is it trending upwards?
Yeah, let's analyze the data using this measure in depth. Let's see what it does. Right. So that's a nice thing. Like, you've built now a new definition, a new tool that you have for the AI, and now you can just do way more with that, right? So it's checking here for individual tournaments, right? 1954.
Wow, what happened in 1954?
Yeah, and at every point in time, Veezoo is writing our semantic layer queries, and you can see here number of hat tricks used. And on the other hand, it compiles down to a SQL query that's way more complicated, right? And that's so it's top teams, number of hat trick. Apparently, Germany is there. You always need to keep in mind it's always the female and male World Cup together. We could separate by them.
So England's not even in that top 10. I'm very disappointed. Is England? No.
I think the most surprising one is to see Switzerland here, to be honest.
Sorry, what was the top 10 players? Just Fontaine, yeah. So good one, right?
Gerd Müller. Yeah, some Leonidas, Brazilian player.
So, and then it's a bit hit. I can't imagine there's much of a trend on hat tricks. I can't imagine that changed much over time. But right, and then we get some actual analysis as well. So this is great, and people watching, obviously we're using sport data, but this kind of analysis, if you're in retail or looking at website analytics, bunching customers together by buying patterns, or who's bought 5 cases of wine in a single order. This is exactly the kind of thing you would be doing with a real retail data set or web usage data set as well. So we can draw that parallel from hat tricks to the next one. What about so we've looked at the final, there was the last time's World Cup, and we've defined hat tricks. What other questions could we ask about this data? Do you want to let Veezoo just go free?
Yeah. So maybe something that people don't really know about is like referees and cards, right? So it's a bit of a niche topic. So we can tell also Veezoo to just explore this data in depth, look for interesting insights about referees and cards. And let's see what it comes up with. This is something that I use a lot when I'm just getting into a new data set or wanting to look what happened the last month, and I just I'll just say somebody on LinkedIn is impressed. Norway, particularly since they don't get to the World Cup, but obviously hat tricks per appearance could be a metric we could explore another day. But that's good. And you're right? Thinking when you're presented with a new data set, in traditional BI like Tableau or Power BI, you've got to do lots of dragging and dropping and just kind of throwing spaghetti at a wall until you see something that sticks. And that's a great experience as a Tableau user, but it's time consuming. So what have we got? So let's see here. So top 15 referees by number of bookings. This could be, right, we can hover over to see what it actually means. So it's a yellow or red cards, right? We have different kinds of card types. And so it's showing here this Ravshan Irmatov with 44 bookings. Here's the distribution of majority, obviously, yellow cards, 70 second yellow card, 102 red cards. Most of them came actually in the second half period. I guess that's when the game gets more emotional.
Indeed, people get feisty, right?
Yeah, exactly. Knockout stage, actually. Well, there are more games in the group stage, so that's expected. So we can see also some averages here from different countries. It's going to be interesting to also look at the countries.
Yeah. So he was a Spanish referee, 14 per match. What the heck?
Yeah, that's
crikey.
2006 was a particularly.
Everyone was aggressive in 2006, clearly. Okay, okay, keep going. What further? What more can we see?
Yeah, let's focus on country analysis for the referees. See if we find something interesting there, right? So let's explore it a bit, and then I can also show you a bit of the customizations that you can do with visualizations, because we human beings, we're very, very visual, right? And we perceive things visually better. So
indeed,
it will be interesting to see.
Obviously, you're Brazilians.
Yeah, many referees from Brazil. Yeah.
That's not red cards, right? Okay.
No, not yet. Let's see what it. With the average, then it just the landscape changes.
Yeah.
Let's see what it's always nice to see once it does all these queries to see what stands out there.
Yeah.
So apparently Mexico ranks only 7th in number of referees, but it's number first in total cards.
Wow.
So let's get many related metrics in one chart per country.
Cool.
I don't know what we're
see, but just to go back to how this data set was created, there's obviously many tables. Where is this type data actually living? And we don't need to go into it now, but how do you build that multi-table connection inside Veezoo?
Yeah, so the data in the GitHub, it's a lot of CSVs, and basically what I've done is I uploaded to my BigQuery instance, and we're all visualizing here based on that.
Right.
Right. So here we're seeing a chart that combines number of reads, matches officiated, total cards issued, and red cards. Right. And let's see if we can get some nice new charts, right, with that data. So let's see, create chart dense with information. So this is another functionality that we have that allows us to just create any kind of chart, even if we give it a very vague. So let's see what it did here, right? So we see on the x-axis number of matches. We have y-axis total cards per match. The bubble size is the number of referees, and the color is the average of red cards per match. And you can see clearly here Mexico and Colombia stand out. Yeah, I think it's an interesting chart.
And now at this point, I mean, now there is a rabbit hole, because is it the fact that they're Mexican or Colombian, or did they happen to be refereeing, you know, two of the most animosity-fueled teams all the time, which maybe we will leave hanging. But actually, we've got a question. Here's one. What if we type that into Veezoo?
Brazil versus Germany performance in general. I don't think we want to see that.
the crowd wants to see it, right?
Let's see. Let's see. I know that performance focus on. I am pretty sure the person is asking about the men's tournament. It's for the teams, right? Not the referees, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So there's some the conversation, the context carries on throughout the conversation, right? So before we, Germany have certainly done better overall, haven't they? But JP, wasn't there a particular match? Wonder if it finds that.
I'm not sure I remember that. So it actually found something interesting, right? First, that there is we distinguish between Germany and West Germany here.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that's something we could try out with Veezoo, right?
Because I can see we've got Germany and West Germany. So maybe explain what's happening there, right? Because if I just want to analyze Germany on a data set which has Germany, East Germany, and West Germany, my results skewed. And does Veezoo work that potential risk out?
Yeah, let's do that in a second. I just wanted to highlight here, we still have 5 World Cups, and Germany has 4. So I think that sums up pretty much the comparison of Germany and then Brazil for our commenter on LinkedIn. So let's take that as an opportunity to show some more modeling, right? That can be an interesting case. So how many World Cups did Germany win, right? So we've seen before.
And again, don't forget that this is hat tricks, penalties, red cards, winning, team names. We're looking across a wide data source here, and it's as fast as my single CSV views.
Okay, so we get here 3 tournaments that Germany won, and we see the list, and that's something weird, right? So there's men's World Cup, 2 women's World Cup. So where's the rest? Veezoo actually already catches that there is something surprising here, and it puts a hypothesis that maybe they were recorded under West Germany. So let's.
Actually, before you type, just instead of typing, I know. All right. So sometimes it gives you questions that are worth investigating, but in this case, it's not right. Okay, carry on typing.
Yeah. So I was expecting 4 for the men's team from Germany, right? Can you remodel the knowledge graph to get that number? and validate your results along the way, right? So you can just give it a task like this, and we can watch what it will do.
Yeah. Roy said, let's pretend the 2014 World Cup never happened.
I would agree with that.
Let's not pretend that.
You know, a funny thing about 2014 is that I was there in Brazil, and even though we lost 7-1, I was for Germany in the finals because it was against Argentina, right? So I don't mind cheering for Germany against Argentina.
That's absolutely fine. Yeah. For those that don't know, let's say it again. Brazil lost 7-1 to Germany in 2014 in quite an astonishing game.
So it
checked
okay,
so
three different files. Yeah.
Yeah.
It checked your 3 different files, and it suggested we add an attribute, for instance, historical name, that will allow us to map these attributions correctly, right? So that's a suggestion that it did. We could take that over and put this in DBT or another modeling layer, but it's a fair suggestion. So if it is German, then add also West Germany, and maybe we have Soviet Union and some other cases there, and it then adapts the relationship that we have between team and the tournaments, where we also consider the historical name as well. Like we were already joining on the team name, so it also consider historical names. And now it just proceeded to verify the results. So it sees 4. That's exactly what we expected to see. And it says, hey, that was a success, right? And you can see this is something that we use a lot, right? So we start working with a company and then we just say, hey, we're expecting these KPIs to have these numbers. Figure out, and here is a description of the logic. Figure out now how to configure this.
I found this really even on my single table data sources. It's almost like a self-healing process, right? Because this is the tasks I would have had to do traditionally in Tableau Prep or direct on a database. But it is I have genuinely found it remarkable how much it will automate. So that's great. Well, okay. So just describe the view you have. What kind of user you are, because you can't have your business user doing
this
right?
is really the view of a creator, how we call it, someone that is in the data team and is allowed to change the knowledge graph, and on the this person also has access to what we call Veezoo Studio, which is our IDE that is built in, right? So we can see also all the changes. So Veezoo, as it does the changes, also write commit messages, so you can see what happened, and you can revert, and you can also merge to main after being reviewed, right? So that's all the configuration happens in Veezoo is version controlled, which is really great for the AI to modify.
Is that version control quite new? Was that?
So we've added more functionality there to revert recently, but it was always version control. Yes.
All right. Okay. Well, look, that's right. So I think we've shown that we can be analyzing complex data. That knowledge graph is wide and deep, and we've shown some of the ways that Veezoo can be productive on our behalf with us, and we're going to augment our own selves. But one of the challenges with AI-based analytics is I don't want to come back and start afresh a conversation every day. I don't want AI analytics to feel like Groundhog Day. I wake up and it's like, oh, I've got to start again. So how can Veezoo schedule things so that I only need to come to the data when it's interesting or there's an alert? What kind of ways can you automate analytics?
So first of all, in Veezoo, you don't have to always just ask questions from scratch, right? You can create dashboards, for instance. Let's say create a dashboard about Brazil's performance in the World Cup, right?
Yeah.
And it will come up with an idea, of a dashboard that you can just quickly add to your sidebar, and you can share with your colleagues.
And I believe everybody at Veezoo has a copy of dashboards that deliver. Is that right?
Yeah.
Or is it just one copy across the business?
Well, we do have one, but from both books, right?
All right. Okay.
Yeah. So here's
sorry, I've interrupted your flow trying to sell you some books. Tell me what we.
Yeah, exactly. So here's right some dashboards, simple dashboard that summarize the Brazil's World Cup performance, and you can save that and you can modify it. I think more interesting is also the scheduling functionality of Veezoo that we've added recently. And even with static data, right? We're looking here at static data. And you think, okay, what is the use case for scheduling here? So let me give you one example. Show me all players with a birthday today, right? This could be from your CRM, right? Like if you have people, you're selling directly to people and you have their birthdays, and so let's see.
There are many organizations that send those birthday wishes. So it's the 22nd of January. All right.
That's
Alf
correct.
Ramsey, the England hero from 1966.
And we have
did he just
other
die?
names.
Yeah. So right. So there's quite a lot in 22nd.
So there are many here, and so let's say pick one and explore the data to tell an interesting story about this player for a newsletter text, right? So let's do that.
And
let's see what it will pick.
While just as you're typing, people are saying you mentioned it earlier, but now we've seen a lot. There's a lot of autocomplete power in Veezoo, in that it will autocomplete according to fields and members within the fields itself. So
yeah, exactly.
I find that really. It's also a really nice way to check what's in your database when you're first playing around with it as well.
Yeah, exactly. And because Veezoo is really made for the enterprise case where you have like a lot of data and not just like one single table where maybe you can keep in your head what you have. So having this autocomplete can be really helpful, right? So let's see what it's doing. It actually took Vincent Abubakar. Okay. Yeah. And let's see. Let's see what it tells about this player. It's checking the cards, squad information, all these different tables. There's always some information about this player. Right, from Cameroon. Okay, so let's see. So happy 33rd birthday to Cameroon's World Cup hero. Spends 3 tournaments across 12 years wearing the iconic number 10 jersey. And it gives here some. So let's see, the moment that defined a career on December 2nd, final group stage match against mighty Brazil. Coming off the bench, he rose in the 90 plus 2 second minute to head home the winning goal. Oh, I think Veezoo has something against Brazil. It's I don't remember this game, but
just how much of that is data and how much of that is LLM world knowledge?
Yeah, so there's definitely a lot here. Some specific things here that is coming from the LLM, but right, so it has the individual player appearances and the goals. So you can see here Brazil first 90 plus second half stoppage time, right? So it was the goal that actually let it actually score there, right? So that is definitely
okay. So we've gone down this path because we were talking about scheduling, right? So continue. How can we repeat that, and then you can explain why it's valuable?
Exactly. So I just click here on save it as an agent, right? And an agent is really this repeatable analysis, right? And what Veezoo is doing now, it's looking at my history of questions, right, in the chat history, and it's coming up with what I believe would be the set of instructions for what I want to save as an agent, right? So maybe it gets not exactly what you want, but okay, in this case, I actually understood. So I want to create this birthday spotlight newsletter feature where all players with birthdays today ask a bunch of questions, right? The individual information, where you can also change these things here, and then craft a newsletter story. I'm gonna go ahead and actually add another instruction here, add a link to YouTube to find the highlights of this player. So let's see what it will actually do.
Wow.
And let's call it player of the day.
So now imagine you're somebody hyping up the World Cup. So the FIFA World Cup is happening in Mexico, USA, and Canada in this year, and you wanted a content plan, right? And you're like, okay, let's focus on a player. From now, let's do the countdown to World Cup 26 by focusing on a historical player. Right? You don't want to do that analysis every day, but now in this case, you're enabling Veezoo to do that on a static data set. Is really cool. So carry on. What's going on? What's the schedule like?
So I forgot to show here the scheduling, right? So I have this set of plans. I can find it on the sidebar. I can share with my colleagues, and they can run it in Veezoo. And I can also schedule it to run daily, weekly, or monthly. On weekdays, there's all the configuration, and you can even specify when it should send the email, right? So, for instance, I'll only send it, if there is someone that actually won a World Cup, right? Or
and that I mean, if you think more in traditional BI applications, it's like I only want to see my sales dash. I only want to see my website analytics dashboard if visits fall off a cliff, right? If things are trending as normal, I don't need to check that dashboard that day, right? So you can set value-based thresholds.
Yeah, exactly. So you can specify it here, and it can also be very flexible, right? So you can say you can put something vague, right? If something looks off, right?
Right.
And so it's really as an AI.
Okay.
And so, right, so I've saved it, and actually it ran already. Let's see if I've received this. It took this time a different one. Hidetoshi Nakata turns 48, the samurai who conquered Europe. That's an interesting headline. So it made it very nicely.
Can you make the text a bit bigger? Or it's a bit tiny.
Yes. Let me just zoom this in.
That's better.
Yep. So career at a glance. That's his birthday. World Cup. He participated in 3 World Cups. Matches played 10. Very well-behaved player.
Yeah.
He wasn't just a footballer. He was a cultural phenomenon. And so it shows here information that he gathered. Number 8 shirt, first ever World Cup appearance in '98, 2002. Well, he played at home, right? So homecoming hero. And here we have some information about the games, the moment of glory, right? In the 75 minutes, he found the back of the. And let's see actually if it added the link. Oh, there he is. Oh, and then we have here 98, top 10 goals. Let's take a look at that. Yeah. So, different. Right. Let's see if he actually scored something.
Wow, what a strike! Well, this is amazing, right? And something else on the agents, you can put prompts at the start to get user input as well. So it's like maybe you're just focusing on European teams or visitors to my website from Asia, and then they can be filled in. If you're running this, if you're scheduling this, then you can override that, right?
So, yeah, exactly. You can just add something like this: ask user, intro, the analysis, and ask the user for a country, for instance. The rest of the analysis should be focused on that country. So it's that easy, right? So you add it here.
Yeah.
Let me just add completely. And when I click here, you can see what it will. Let's see. Which country would you like to focus on, right?
So if you put in England, that might, it'll probably pick Alf Ramsey now. And we know there's an English player. So, okay, so this is great. I just people watching, if you've got any questions for JP, just type them in the comments. We can ask them before we get to the end of this. So we've looked so far at querying a complex data set. We've got many tables about the World Cup in the knowledge graph. We defined a previously undefined metric, hat tricks, which again, that's got real world, business applications as well if you're doing cohort analysis or looking for super customers. We also looked at cleaning data on the fly, West Germany, East Germany, Germany. How do you define the Germany team when the name has changed over history? So we saw how some of the semantic layer changes around there. Did the red card analysis, and then we looked at scheduling and agentic based analytics so that you don't have to come and write the same questions every single day, because Veezoo can do a lot of that for you. JP, anything else you think we should look at? Oh.
Well, there's tons of things. Who's there to guess who's going to win okay, I think that's a good
good question. Let's ask.
Let's ask that. So Veezoo, who do you think will win the 2026 World Cup?
All right, and this is a predictive analytics question, right? It's all very well having your analysis of the past.
Let's see if it takes in consideration my name.
Yeah, with something like this, I mean, I'm not a gambler. I don't particularly love gambling, but there are a lot of gamblers, right? And with this, I'm sure you could do a lot of good gambling analysis on this. I'm not sure I endorse that, but certainly with this full data set, you could put some bets in some pretty odd places. All right, who's going to win?
So it can predict the future. It's being a bit careful here, but let's look historically, right? Historically is always good for Brazil. So recent as well, we have Argentina there, France, Germany. Yeah, that's a very simple analysis. It was very, didn't go very in depth in there.
No.
But
I think
final prediction: really. Argentina, France, and Brazil. Yeah, it's a safe bet, I guess.
I think that's it's a good question, Roy. If you want to tell us if you don't think it's those four, Roy, just type who you think will win in. But yeah, that's great. If there are any more questions, ask them now. While we're waiting, hope you have enjoyed this look into Veezoo. I've thoroughly enjoyed my explorations of Veezoo. What can people do to follow up JP? I've got a question from Raphael as well. Should we do one more? Well, let's do one more question.
Yeah, let's do one more.
All right, here we go. It's from Raphael. So let's put you back to the stage. Who had the most? You see, that's an interesting double set of questions, right? In fact, Raphael's actually asked 3 questions here.
And the most impact on the match. Okay.
Well, it's more that middle bit is who has been the most impactful, right? Because sometimes it's that. Well,
okay.
I'll leave you to craft the prompt from that one, JP.
Exactly. So,
you craft the question, but these are genuine analytics questions. It's like, well, which product has the best ROI, and is it sales by volume, sales by profit, margins, the one that creates the best brand affinity, right? How do you define these things? And as data analysts and data teams, we spend vast amounts of time speaking to users trying to define these things. Doesn't mean that you can seed, doesn't mean an AI should take over that task, but if we can augment our processes, then that's pretty good, I think. Okay, I want to find out which player had the most impact in a match. Do an in-depth analysis. Don't settle for shallow analysis. Consider different metrics.
So let's see. Let's see what he will do.
These little things like don't settle for shallow analysis are interesting little prompt hacks. I saw Copilot got hacked because there was you could inject in the URL a prompt hack saying don't keep triple checking, and eventually it would break its security. Anyway, that's beside the point. Right, what are we seeing?
Yeah,
so tell us what's happening.
Yeah, so start with the baseline, which makes sense, right? That we actually just first check, right? Okay, overall, which were the most successful players in the sense of scoring their goals and here, and also recognize to avoid own goal. We definitely don't want. Then we have the hat tricks, right?
You know, I mean, just go back to that. That's the kind of thing. Again, you know, as a data analyst, when you're looking at data set, you've got to know that there is goal or own goal in there, and it can be easy to miss that kind of thing for an AI or a human. So it's a good job it picked it up.
Yeah. So we have again the number of players with hat tricks, final impact goals when it mattered most. Okay, that's interesting, right? So the final. Right, so we have here Mbappé, Pelé, Zidane. So these are names that you would expect to see, right? When the right time comes, that they
Jeff Hurst,
clutch
there's
performance.
Jeff, 1966. Yeah.
So that's interesting. So those that come in the extra time, right? So
and how many of those are winning goals as well, right?
Yeah, that would be a good one to ask.
Yeah,
you see Messi here a lot. Right? Penalty kicks that are converted. Messi as well is here. Wow. I think we see the picture. It's forming around certain players. Right? What is this one? Impact off the bench. So super subs, right? I hadn't actually asked anything about substitutions, but it's decided to add here. So a player that entered as a substitute and actually scored a number of goals when he was entering as a substitute. So knockout stage dominance. So when there's like elimination, right? So knockout stage. Mbappé again.
I mean, there's loads of it's coming with loads of different ways to look at the data, and to do that, you know, if I was playing with this in Tableau, that would be that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
All right, who we go? Who we
got?
So
let's see. So it shows some interesting suggestions here. Mbappé as a very recent one. Pelé with legendary consistency. I mean, he won 3 World Cups.
Because he's put Mbappe in there because it's put Mbappe in there because he only played in 2 World Cups, right? So those stats,
given that he's only played in 2 World
really
Cup,
high, right?
Yeah. Non-obvious findings. Roger Milla, super sub legend. 38 years old in 1999. He refined what impact off the bench means, right? So that's interesting. Fontaine. And Marta for the women's, which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And of course, Luka Modric and Lionel Messi, they definitely belong there as well.
I mean, this is great, right? Because you know, Raphael's. This is a great question. Who's the most impactful player, right? You know, what's the most impactful product in my organization? I'm like, well, how the hell do you define impact? And what Veezoo has done here is, there's many ways you can do it, and it's given us some great answers. So, Raphael, hopefully that has answered the question.
Yeah, and there are even some other ideas here of how else you could explore it.
Well, JP, maybe I'll leave you to go down that rabbit hole yourself after this live stream, and you can share the answers to the world. So, everybody watching, hopefully that's been useful. JP, I want to thank you because you clearly know the platform way better than me, and it's just really good seeing all that superpower. We've looked at complex data sources, automations, getting Veezoo to sort of self-heal and self-fix itself. JP, what should people do next?
Well, I love to have conversations with people that are into the space. If you're interested in the solution for evaluating, but if you're in general interested in this, in agentic analytics and want to connect and have a chat, just scan my code there, and we can have a conversation. If you're a company that is actually looking to introduce such a tool, we also offer proof of value where you can experiment it with your own data and see if it's a fit. But in general, any kind of conversation, I always like to talk to people in the data space.
Yeah, amazing. Well, fantastic. Well, look, everybody for joining. I just want to thank you for joining this live stream. This is experimentation phase for me in my new world of how to speak data. So let me know what you've thought as well, but scan the QR or just find JP on LinkedIn. He's attached to this LinkedIn live stream. And good luck with your explorations of Veezoo or AI-based analytics. With that, Is that an AI picture of you playing for Brazil in the World Cup? Is that what that is?
No, I remember that it was in the final 2002. No, that was for my team. They did that. I hope it brings good luck for this year.
Well, yeah, fingers crossed. Everybody who wants to win the World Cup, let's all win it together. You know, we're no longer in a rules-based society, so let's do what we want. All right. With that, take care, everybody. JP, thanks so much, and see you all again soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
And I have to click it twice.